Hello, my fellow YouTubers. How are you today? And today, I'll be reviewing Kubo and Two Strings. Okay, Kubo and the Two Strings is a recent animated film done by the same people who made Coraline, Paranorman, and the Shoebox Trolls. Box Trolls, I mean. And boy, is it an incredible film. I'm not. This is really a good film. I would recommend it for any person. That how they're able to do that with stop animation is incredible. The acting is fantastic, and the story is whoa. It is just blimey, blimey. Now, so what makes this film good? Well, at first it begins with a young mother trying to save her baby from a storm, and she tries very hard to protect him against the currents since she's in the water, in the sea, and there's these massive waves splashing onto her, and she's trying to get out of the way, trying to get out of the way so badly. However, once she gets out of the water, she tries to use her magic with this special little chip and this little guitar. Let's call it that. I hope I'm saying it right. I hope I'm saying it correctly, but I hope it's called guitar. That's what I'm trying to say. But when she uses her magic to split the water into half and to create a barrier. However, what she doesn't notice is that there's a waterfall coming behind her, splashing her. Her head falls down on the rock, causing her to lose consciousness. However, luckily she soon wakes up, but she has become very weak from the head injury. She slowly tries to get to her baby, cradling him, and when she opens her hood, we see that her baby Kubo has only one eye. Something happens to his other eye. Then we skip some time later, where Kubo is a young man who's trying to look after his mother, and whoa, the way he looks after his mother is just so heartbreaking. I mean, I haven't been in that. I have never been in that position, but it's just the way he's trying to look after her, trying to feed her, trying to make sure she's okay. Just the way he does it is just so nice. It shows he's just a caring son for her. He loves her. He wants to make sure she's well. Then Kubo, he and his mother are living in a cave very high to the ocean. And every day Kubo has to go to this village and uses his magic to bring some origami back to life. Like living origami that moves and does a lot of movement. In there, he tells story of how the legend of his father, of how his father defeated his grandfather, the evil Moon King, and he tells how his father had to find 3 items: a helmet, a sword, and body armor. How his father had to get each of these 3 items to fight his evil grandfather. However, he can never finish the story because every time he comes close to the end, the sun is setting, and he has to go back to the mountain top. And then he and his mother then have a brief conversation where his mother is very terrified of him staying after dark because the Moon King will see him since he is pretty much the moon. His mother has completely disowned her father and her sisters, because it turns out his grandfather was the one that took Kubo's eye out. I mean, really, this is a dark story. I'm not lying. This is very, very dark stuff for a kids' animated film. And his mother, and we see what illness his mother has. She has some kind of short-term memory loss. It's where one moment she tells Kubo how he lost his eye, the next moment she wonders what happened to his eye. So it's kind of a short-term memory loss kind of illness, I think. Now, That's what I could get from it. Later, Kubo goes down but goes down to the festival. You see, today in his village, it's a special day. It's a festival day, and he decides to, and where the villagers will pay tribute to their dead, departed ones. Kubo decides to light a candle for his father, telling him he misses him and he needs him, but his father doesn't reply, and he just gets annoyed. He gets annoyed and decides to leave it. However, he left it too late, so it's night time, and this is where stuff gets scary. All the candles burn out. The night time comes, and then he hears some whispers. Cubo, Cubo, and he sees a woman. He sees two women standing on the lake, like they're hovering on it. They both have this kind of Grim Reaper look. This black hat, this black cape, and black suits, wearing this white mask on them. They're his evil aunts who try to take him. Kubo, of course, realizes what they are and runs away from them. One of the ants uses this kind of this pipe to create this kind of green mist monster to get after Kubo. It destroys everything in its path. Kubo is able to run away from it, but his mother is able to come in the last moments, protect him. His mother then activates the back of his clothes, create these kind of beetle wings to get Kubo out of the way. Soon his mother and his aunts have a clash and go psh, and then there's a bright light. Kubo then wakes up in the snow and sees this giant white monkey. This white monkey turns out to be Kubo's toy, but the reason it's able to talk and have this fur on it is because Kubo's mother was able to put in the last of her magic into this monkey toy to allow Kubo to escape and to give him a guide. The monkey is a serious character. She even tells Kubo you can only have 3 questions. Only 3 questions she's allowed to give him. She tells him that his grandfather knows of his existence and he will try to find him. He's not stupid. He will try to get his aunts onto him. Soon Kubo she tells him that the only way for him to protect him, he's going to have to fight his grandfather. He can't hide anymore. He has to fight him now. So he and the monkey go on a mission to find the 3 pieces of armor his father found. And it's funny to see how Kubo is able to start controlling his powers. He's starting to use more origami pictures with his guitar. And it's very cool to see how he's able to make all these paper birds. It's fun, and I like the way he and Monkey are bonding. Since Kubo doesn't really have anyone else, he only has the monkey to help him. Apologies. But soon Kubo is captured by this kind of beetle monster. At first, Monkey is prepared to fight the beetle monster, but however, it turns out later the beetle monster is actually a good guy. He's not a bad guy. He turns out to have worked for Kubo's father, some apprentice. He explains that he once was human, but he was cursed to remain as in this kind of beetle-like body, and suffers from memory loss. Monkey at first doesn't trust him, but allows him to stay. Soon they have to follow the origami version of Kubo's father and they soon find this cave where they meet this giant skeleton, and they have to go, and there's this intense battle where they have to find the real sword of power. The skeleton has a lot of swords stuck onto its brain, but Kubo has to take each one out and smash it until he found the right one. After he finds the right one, he's able to kill the skeleton. After that, they find out that the armor is actually underwater, and it's not easy. easy since they don't have a boat, and Beetle and Monkey start to argue about how to work with Kubo. But Kubo is actually able to maintain himself. He uses his guitar to create a boat made of brown leaves. Soon, Beetle and Kubo are starting to bond better. Like, Beetle's trying to teach Kubo how to fish with arrows. And I really like Beetle. He is a fun character. He's very fun to be with. Matthew McConaughey is very good as this character. And I like how they eat the fish and the way Beetle and Monkey's chemistry work together. They kind of play back to each other. It's very funny. It's very fun. However, they soon find the armor and they see a storm coming. Beetle goes into for the armor first but gets lost. Kubo decides to go after him to find the armor. And when he does, he comes into the Garden of Eyes, and this is another creepy scene where all these green eyes are looking at Kubo, judging his soul, judging everything about him. It's very dark. It's a very dark scene, this scene, and it can really get you scared. Soon Kubo, but luckily Beetle is able to save him. However, in the meantime, Kubo gets the armor and Beetle saves him, but at the meantime, Monkey is fighting one of the evil ants, and this ant is using this kind of chain whip, this chain that grabs Monkey and pulls her back. And it's a very hard battle for Monkey, very hard. However, the aunt is mocking Monkey, saying her sister had so much potential, so much she could have done. But Monkey gets ticked and has this badass scene where she, love made me stronger, and she kills the ant. And it's a very cool scene. The good news is the aunt is dead, and the good news is that Monkey is Kubo's mother. Kubo is trying to find out why, but the monkey reveals that she used the last of her magic to transfer her soul into the toy to come back to life to help Kubo get the armor. I mean, it's so lovely to see Kubo and his mother reconnect like that. It's fun. And later, Monkey reveals how she was able to meet Kubo's father. At one point, she was like her sisters and father, the Moon King, and she found out that Kubo's father was trying to find a way to kill her father, and she went to kill him. However, they had a battle, and they soon fell in love with each other after the battle. The battle just got all these emotions to them. And Kubo's father said to his mother, "You are my quest." And that was so lovely, the way it was pronounced, the way the story is. You can imagine what happened there if they were real people. And Kubo goes to sleep with the nice knowledge of how his parents met. But then Beetle asks Monkey a proper question. Why didn't you tell him? Why didn't you tell him straight away that he was his mother? She was his mother. And Monkey has a bad confession to confess. The magic is limited. It will soon run out. And when it runs out, her spirit will split from the monkey toy, and she will have to go to the afterlife. So that's why she didn't tell Kubo, because I understand that you don't want to raise a child's hopes up and then dash it away again. It's heartbreaking. But for Kubo, things are getting weirder as he meets this blind old man who's doing what he's doing, who's living in this world of paper and using his guitar to make things real. The old man tells him where the helmet is. It's it's at his father's house where he originally lived. Kubo then tells Beetle and Monkey where to go, and they find his father's house, the home he could have had. And then they discover that it's been wrecked. It's been totally wrecked. It's destroyed, demolished. Beetle asks, why would the helmet be here? And Monkey then soon discovers it's a trap set by the Moon King. And the other ant comes and he fights Monkey, and Kubo, Monkey and Beetle go into a fight with each other. And and soon and soon we finally discover the Beetle's true identity. We discover that Beetle was actually Kubo's father. After his battle with the Moon King got so angry at the father that he erased his memory and transformed him into this beetle-like monster and banished him to the snowy glaciers. At first, the father is able to reconnect all his memories and tells the mother is even able to recite the love words he gave Kubo's mother. However, it's short-lived as the aunt kills both Kubo's father and his mother. The aunt uses this kind of double sword technique where uses two little swords to fight together. But luckily, Kubo's mother uses the last of her magic to kill her aunt. But sadly, that was the last magic. She's now a toy. His mother's separated from her body and went to the afterlife with his father, and the monkey turns back to a toy. And Kubo is devastated. He's lost. Only to find your parents and only to lose them like that. Whoa! That kid really needs to hold it in together sometimes. But Kubo has a make a man of you moment where he decides to, you can't cry over the past now. The Moon King, he may have gotten rid of the aunt, but that will only mean that the Moon King will probably just use more energy to find him, and he will try to find him, and he knows the Moon King's power. So Kubo then realizes where the helmet is. It was back in his original village. It was used as a bell. Kubo was able to find it and combine its power with the body armor and the sword and get this golden Super Saiyan radiance. And soon he and his grandfather finally have a heart-to-heart talk. His grandfather is blind to the world, and I don't mean just physically. He just sees things like humanity, love, mortality as just simple things, too mortal. He's too much of a god. He thinks he's too high up from them, and he just made himself blind to the world. That's why he wants to take Kubo's eyes, because he believes that they're more of a weakness than a privilege. Because Kubo then tells his grandfather that his eyes allows him to see the good things in people, the positive things. It allows him to love. It allows him to feel. Kubo doesn't want to be immortal. He doesn't want to be infinite. He wants to be normal. He wants to be a human being. His grandfather then understands this is his final question, and then, final answer. And his grandfather changes into this horrible giant fish monster with this kind of skeleton hand as a tail. And he and Kubo have this massive fight. But soon Kubo loses all his armor and is forced to the graveyard. But then Kubo feels he has one last weapon, his little guitar, and he uses the strings from his father's bow and his mother's hair to make 3 strings even. And the villagers team up with Kubo to ignite the spirits of their departed to create a shield. And soon Kubo doesn't kill his grandfather, he makes him mortal. He causes one of his blind eyes to see. And his grandfather has no idea who he is. He forgot he was the Moon King. But soon, and here's the beautiful part of the film, Kubo is able to forgive his grandfather. This man has stalked Kubo from birth, gotten his aunts to kill him, killed his father and mother, and he's able to forgive his grandfather. Whoa, just whoa, is that a cool scene? And the villagers say, "You're a nice man, you helped me wash the dishes, you helped me put up the clothes up." It's just a lovely scene where all the villagers tell him he's a good guy, and it's just beautiful to see how he's restored in life. Because Kubo realizes this is his only family relative now. The grandfather has lost his daughters and Kubo's lost his parents. They're the only members of their family now. They only have each other to lean on. and soon Kubo is able to lay his mother and father to rest and give them a proper send-off, and is able to stay out more in the night time and decides to live the rest of his life with his grandfather. So that's Cuba and the Two Strings. Is it a good movie? Definitely. It is a great film. Check it out. The characters are good. Kubo is a good kid. It's similar to Spirited Away. He has to. It's about him having to mature in life and realizing he's in a world that wants to kill him. He has to and he's also quite forgiving the way he helps saves his grandfather from himself and lets his grandfather see what he sees. Monkey is a good character. The way she's strong and the way she wants to protect her son and the way she's so ferocious in spirit. She may be a monkey in body, but she's got the heart of a lion. She will not let her cubs be attacked. And you have Cuba's father again, Matthew McConaughey, brilliant. Beto is an excellent character. I really like him. He's my favorite in all of this. The aunts and the grandfather, just scary. That's all I can say. The aunts really don't have much character apart from being really, really terrifying. Grandfather, the Moon King, has probably some more character. He's just this evil old man who's obnoxious and got a bit of a uptight complex, but is later redeemed by Kubo and given a new start in life. And again, the stop motion that's used in this is amazing. It's really brilliant. Brilliant the way the company is able to make it so excellently. So I would recommend Cuba and the Two Strings to anyone. I give it 5 stars, 5 big stars. Probably one of the movies of the year. So Q and the Two Strings, you've been a great film, and I'll see you later. That's my review.